Where is my money? All small businesses must ask themselves that question more frequently than they'd care to reveal, especially since the Financial Services Bureau's latest survey shows that typically 80% of payments are late to SMBs. That's a frustrating thing and can be difficult to get a grasp on. But the Clever Credit app for Dynamics 365 is designed to help you get a handle on where your money is and to automate some of the processes that you need to stay in control. Okay, let me talk you through some of the key features in our Clever Credit app for Dynamics 365. Having installed the app with the default configuration, I've got a couple of new items on my navigation ribbon at the top of the Role Center. One of which is the Clever Credit page itself, which is our main page in the app. This shows me a breakdown of the amounts that are owed to me by each of my customers, and it's broken down by the aging bands according to the setup. And the customer names are highlighted in different colors according to how old the oldest debt is that they owe to us. Each of these figures you can click on to drill into, and you'll see the underlying customer ledger entries that make up each of those figures. Having decided which customer I need to prioritize speaking to and chasing the debt that they owe us, I can click on the Make Phone Call action and open up the Clever Credit interaction page. The idea of this page is that it shows me all of the key information I need to know about this customer account in order to have an informed conversation with the contact at the customer about the amounts that they owe us. I've got all of the open ledger entries shown in this section here. Again, I've got a breakdown of the amounts that they owe us and can drill down into those figures at the bottom. I can make some notes about this interaction, and if appropriate, I can set a next interaction date to leave me a reminder that I need to call this customer back. Up on the ribbon, I can click on the statement button to print a statement of this customer's account, and I can also select one or more ledger entries and print the corresponding invoices. I might want to print those to a PDF and email them to the customer while I'm on the phone to them, so that we both have all of the information we need to have this conversation. Now I can update one or more of the ledger entries with a predefined status code. So maybe the customer is querying some of these invoices, and perhaps they've promised to pay the invoices, and I can set the date that they've promised to pay and also the amount as well, so that my team has all of the information that they need to know about these ledger entries. So let's go ahead and select a couple of these invoices and update the selected entries, and imagine they're going to pay us at the end of the month on the 31st, and therefore the status is promised and they're going to pay the full amount of those invoices. The status updates on the ledger entries, and I can go ahead and close the interaction page now. And that interaction and previous interactions are available in the interactions fact box. I can always go back and recall those interactions, see the ledger entries that were discussed, any notes that were made, the date and time, and the user who had that interaction with the customer. We also calculate some statistics about the customer's account in the fact box over on the right, including some figures about how long it is taking the customer to pay us on average. I can drill into those figures and see a chart which shows a trend of their payments over time. So for each invoice that we've raised for this account, the number of days we've given them in payment terms, how many days it's taken them to pay, and how many overdue days that represents. And a rolling average is plotted against time there. So I can decide whether I need to review the credit worthiness of this account. I might need to change their credit limit or give them different payment terms. And I can make an informed decision about what we're going to do with this account. Now back on the Role Center, we add a new credit control activities section to the Role Center, which shows the number of open to-dos and overdue to-dos that are in my name. And these might exist because a customer has promised to make a payment of one or more invoices, and a to-do is created for the date on which they promised to pay. If subsequently a cash receipt journal is posted and the invoices are closed, it will automatically also close the to-do. However, if it's left open, I know that means the customer hasn't yet paid, even though they promised, and from this list I can go in, make a phone call, and the relevant ledger entries are already selected, so I know what I need to discuss with the customer, maybe send them another copy of the invoice, update the status of those ledger entries, make some notes, or set a date for the next interaction with this customer. You can also manually create to-dos for yourself or for other credit controllers about anything else that you need to discuss with the customer. Now, as well as helping you to manage a collection of debts that your customers owe you, Clever Credit helps you to prevent bad debt in the first place by putting sales documents on credit hold. So as the standard application checks for overdue balances and whether the customer is over their credit limit, we add a new status that defines the document as being credit held, in which case it must be reviewed by a credit controller and released from that status before it can be processed any further. So from the Role Center, I can click on Credit Held Documents, see a list of the sales documents that are currently held, and drill into those documents, have a look at the customer's account and the order details, and I can make a decision as to whether I want to release this order for further processing or not. Take control of your credit management today. Install Clever Credit for Microsoft Dynamics 365.